you guys, and welcome to OTB. Today we're sitting with the lovely and beautiful Miss Victoria Horn, aka Lady V. We're just going to be asking her a few questions, so let's get started. So first off, where were you born and where are you currently living?
I was born in England, from a little village called Kent, so I'm obviously British, but for the past 10 years I've been living in LA, but just recently in December I moved back to England, so I'm now residing there, and we'll probably do 3 trips here a year.
That's awesome.
Or more if needed.
That's cool. Which do you prefer, London or LA?
Ooh, don't ask me that question. I prefer the sun in LA, obviously. But there are bits of LA. I mean, there's no place like home, is there?
When did you first get into writing and singing?
I first got into writing and singing, well, music was 3 years old. I started piano, and I have very strong memories of putting my mother's platform boots on, or not, or whatever, you know, those long ones. And they came up to the tops of my thighs back then, singing along to ABBA, you know, dancing, and Blondie. But it wasn't until I was really 17 that I from a local studio, I got offered to go on tour with the New Seekers, who'd sold 21 million records. They did the Coca-Cola advert, I like to teach the world to sing, that song. So had an amazing time, learnt all my harmonies there. But obviously the artist in me was pining away.
That's great. And would you say that they were a big inspiration in your life, or who would you say is actually the biggest inspiration?
I think they've been extremely big in the fact that the harmonies that I learnt to do that. So obviously that comes to now when I'm recording. But I listen to all different types, from classical to trip hop. I love trip hop, so obviously Massive Attack, Portishead. But to rock, to Phil Spector, to the Beatles, I mean, to Bob Marley, to Indian, Bollywood. Love it. So real mixed boat.
That's awesome. That's so interesting. I love that. And then we actually on OTB, we just released your latest single, Erase You, with Marcus Schultz, which was beautiful, by the way. I loved it.
Oh, thank you.
Was it inspired by a particular someone or something in your life?
Well, that's funny you should say that. But I wanted it to be a positive song because I'm very happy with my relationship. But my co-writer wanted it to be a sad, negative song. So I tried to do little things in there, like to make, you know, like as in you can't get rid of someone. So, you know, the moon's a mirror ball. It's like being on a stage and that person is always with you. Yeah. And especially in the bridge as well, I tried to put some more positive so he didn't feel too upset.
Was it about, originally about your boyfriend then? Or
I wanted it to be, yeah. But funnily enough, the because I mean, you're inspired by everything. I mean, you know, Gold, the new single by Reese Fulber that I have coming out, Conjure One on Armada, that is about my boyfriend. That was about our first date. But the Alone single from obviously Armin van Buuren, featuring Lauren Evans, that one was a true story. I actually saw someone fall off a pavement on Highland and no one helped him. I actually saw people you know, doing Facebook obviously, and the traffic beeping, and that's what inspired that song, true story. So.
Who would you say has been your favorite to work with so far?
Oh gosh, I mean, I have so many that I love. I mean, from the Jackie Boys, Los, I love. Christian Burns, who's a featured dance artist, he's one of my favourites. I love Ferry Corsten, he's great to work with. Armin's really lovely, so's Marcus. I did get to work with this other band that I'm not sure I should say or not, but Above and Beyond, who are amazing. Yes. So I worked with one of them, so that was a real joy because I'm a huge fan of theirs.
Same. And then what would you be doing if you weren't doing singing or songwriting? What career would you have chosen?
Fashion. Yeah, definitely. I won Young Fashion Designer when I was 17, so and I still find myself, you know, scouring like Elle and Star and Vogue to see what's going on. And
yeah, well, as we can, you look very high fashion, so I totally
take it back down to the high street pricing, though.
I love it. Oh, expensive, and mixing it with inexpensive things, that's the best. So many artists dream of having just one #1 Billboard hit. How does it feel to have double-digit Billboard hits?
Well, you never take it for granted, and you're always looking for the next song. You're always grateful for the last one. I mean, I think when, you know, the Dirty Vegas song Days Go By won a Grammy, for me that was probably a highlight. in my career, and also when they touch people's lives, you know, people come back and they tell you or they quote your lyrics. I'm always so excited to hear, you know, something on the radio that you've done. Even, you know, I mean, when I did Katy Perry, I mean, hearing, you know, Katy and, you know, Selena did a duet on the song, you hear it on the radio, it's amazing. Yeah. I mean, to get back out and do it myself, I'm waiting for that one.
So are you doing more singing or songwriting right now?
I am, yes. I mean, I had a lot of success in EDM or dance music as we used to call it back then, 10 years ago. But now I've obviously gone back to it after doing urban. I was lucky enough to get to work with, you know, Brandy and Keisha Cole and some people like that, and Big Sean. But to now go back into EDM, it's really where my heart is. I love it. I love the melodies, I love the songs, I love the tracks. So yeah, I'm getting a bit precious again with my songs. They're mine, you know.
Well, we're so glad you're back. I love your voice and all these new singles. What is your #1 spot that you have to travel when you're here?
I have to go to Huntington Library. Have to. I love that place. All the Japanese garden is beautiful.
So pretty.
It is, and obviously the beach. And you know, my other favourite one is the Village Wine Shop in Larchmont. I have to have the #5 prosciutto sandwich in there. It's to die for.
That sounds so delicious. And what could we find you doing outside the studio? What are some of your hobbies that you enjoy?
Oh, music. I've just started painting. I make things. I've got a sewing machine for Christmas, so I'm starting to sew again. But seeing friends, I love doing that as well. Cooking, love cooking. But I think music isn't a job, it's a way of life. So you're always kind of venting in to try and find that next song, or watching life to do it, you know.
Yeah, it's just in all aspects of your life at this point.
Well, it is, and obviously, you know, for me, I've got a goal that I want to try and obtain in EDM. So, you know, trying to get these features and working with some of my favourite acts is, you know, it's such a... It's not work, is it, really? I mean, come on. I get to sit in the room with Ferry Corsten and Marcus and Armin. You know, we have a bit of a giggle. Yeah. I'm sure if you see on my Twitter, I'm posting stupid pictures and stuff.
I love it. No, you basically have everyone's dream job in LA / all the country.
Apart from the actors.
I could definitely say that. And then, what would you say is your most monumental moment that you've had in your music career so far?
Well, the Grammy winning, obviously the song winning the Grammy was amazing. But I mean, my goal, I'd love to, you know, get one as a feature artist on EDM right now. And hopefully, you know, if I'm lucky enough, I might get to do that, you know, you never know.
How do you get out of your writer's block? What's your go-to when you get stuck in songwriting?
Well, I mean, you definitely have days when you're not as good as others, but I would say that obviously it's like a well-oiled machine. You know, once you've been doing it for a while, you learn how to get around little things, because it is a craft, isn't it? So for me, I think if you keep those lists of lyrics, you've always got them to bounce to. And to be honest, I think I'm kind of weird because I always hear melodies. In fact, my boyfriend won't let me put the radio on when we're sitting in the car because he says I always psychoanalyze the songs.
I know you've been singing this whole time. I love it. Like, honestly, it's so beautiful. Thank you. I've said that a million times, but it really is.
Oh, thank you.
And do you have any current or future projects in the works for us right now?
I do. Well, I mean, obviously, we just had the Armin van Buuren Alone featuring Lauren Evans. And I'm hoping, you know, that the Marcus Shorts will Erase You will be a single. But as a result of working with Marcus, I now got to work with Ferry Corsten, who's become a really good friend of mine. So I've done 2 with Ferry for his releases, and then Marcus Shorts and Ferry Corsten have got a duo called New World Punk. So I've done one with them called People Like Us, and then I've got another one with Marcus, and then I've got one that Marcus, Ferry and Rusko and Travis Barker have done. That's really exciting, that one. That's going to be out soon. I think that might be the first New World Punk release. And then we've got Richard Vision's next single featuring my dear friends Los the Jackie Boys. I think Chicane's going to be doing one with another friend of mine that I wrote, Christian Burns, who I do a lot of writing with Christian. And then I've been working on Tiesto and stuff. And the next, probably the fastest one out, is Reese Fulber. He's got an act called Conjure One. And he did Delirium Silence with Sarah McLachlan, which Tiesto remixed, which was probably like one of the top 10 all-time trance, anthems called Gold. So so I'm looking forward to that coming out. I can't wait to do a video.
Oh my god, I'm so excited for you. I'm so stoked for all these upcoming events.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And last question, what is the best advice that you would give to aspiring songwriters and singers out there?
Without a shadow of a doubt in my mind, go to the ASCAP website or Ralph Murphy. He does masterclasses. Read his book, read his website. If you can get on the ASCAP website course, do that. It's little things, but they'll just be, a lot of benefit. And then also keep lists. Every time you see a word, or if someone says something, or you read a phrase, I've got hundreds, thousands of them, of titles, song titles and concepts. So that if you go into a room, you've always got something, you can go through them and go, ooh, and give, your co-writers options. And always try to be yourself, because you'll always be the best you, but you'll only be a second-rate someone else.
And for all your fans out there, what would be the best way to contact you over social media?
I'm actually quite hands-on Twitter, so it's Lady V Music. Just the V on its own, Lady V Music at Twitter, wherever it is, /Twitter. And then I've also got a Facebook, Lady V, but honestly, Twitter is the best one. I frequently talk to people on there. Actually, I love talking to people. It's good. It's good to hear their thoughts.
Twitter's the best with interaction and whatnot.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah,
I was just talking to Roscoe this morning.
Oh, really? And
actually, the studio that we're in now, Rodney Jerkins was in another room, and I could see him on shared computer, so I hit him up on Twitter. You can check that out. It's true.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us today. It was a pleasure meeting you.
And you too. Thank you so much.
Oh, of course. Thank you. This has been an O2B exclusive with Chelsea Mora, and we hope to see you guys back soon. Thanks.
Bye.